hopefully. That would be nice. It would be nice to have that kind of... If you don't finish that video, you'll never succeed. Damn it. I'm a failure, Todd. All right, so we have our reticle, so to speak. Todd's always right. Hashtag Todd was right. I'm failing forward. 2 games on Steam, still made basically nothing from them. Albeit one is free. Is the free one doing better than the paid for one too? That's how it always goes. Yep. There's a tune shader. Should I try that? Yeah, you can't look at it as a waste. Okay, let's put the cookbook in the front of the player for now. It's a cookbook! A cookbook! There we go. So the French press, so this pops up. Then we snap a cursor over each of the things. We use the D-pad to cycle through them. Yeah. I do think if I pivot and go back to the multiplayer dungeon thing, I'm going to really lean into Fantasy Life. And go in that direction with it. And make a Fantasy Life clone. Or style of game. Which is like a little bit of a mini MMO. Where you have different jobs and you level up those jobs and those skills apply to other abilities in the game. And what have you. So if you want to fight, you can fight. If you want to cook, you can cook. If you want to make love, you can't do that. So that's something I'll capitalize on as a very detailed love-making game mode. Very a little bit like what's the one where you're in 1985 Japan and you're out for revenge for the man who killed your father? Shinobi? No. What's it called? Shinmu. That's the word. Shinmu. Hello. I'm looking for sailors. Have you seen any sailors? I'm looking for sailors. Have you seen any sailors? Are there any sailors here? That's all I remember from Shinmu. Have you seen any sailors here? I've heard that Pixelia has multiple things to do that players can pick. 2 Pixelia. Okay, let's check that. Is that a browser-based game? I feel like that's a browser-based game. No. See, if I end up, if I'm like, I gotta roll my own art, it's pixel art, baby. There's a reason why this is the thing. I mean, this game I'm working on right now could become pixel art. Shit. Actually, that would make it easier for my daughter to design anything. Because the constraints would be really good. Now, we were hitting on this with, we were trying to do it with a mix of 3D before. With, whatchamacallit. Even animations, yeah. Have you seen any sailors here? Are there any sailors here? What is this? This is like a tribunal. Something bad is happening here. Oh God, they're voting. I like how it's like, here's democracy in action. And I'm like, this looks bad. Be nice to be able to sell games from my own store rather than putting everything on Steam or Itch. But man, that's a lot of potential customers. Yeah. No, you're pretty much... I mean, it's like, you know, Kmart. Why did I use Kmart as an example? You guys remember it was Sears. Sears was going to take over everything. Kmart was going to take over everything. And right now it's Walmart. It's going to take over everything. And it always seems like it seems impossible to imagine. But one day there won't be a Walmart. New game idea where you run in a bar in a seaside port and you're serving drunken sailors all day. You have to fight them a lot for some reason. You know that song Brandy? I thought that was about that Brandy wasn't a girl. It was a bottle. And that they were seeking solace in it. But it's not. Redstone, what's up? What you been doing? Just your mom. There's a port on a western bay. Yep. I love that song, by the way. It's a good song. That's it, bucko. Let's go, Redstone. Come at me, bro. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. West Side Story, bro. West Side Story, bro. Greg, tell me you've seen the South Park where he goes and sees Wicked. He goes and sees Wicked. Oh, God. and then a bunch of playwrights have like a bro down. I'm calling the police for child abuse. Let's go, West Side Boy. Merrily all the way. Let's go, bro. All right. I respect you, bro. Yeah, go pixel art to buy the simplest asset pack and start it and let your daughter create it from there. See, we were going with the 3D thing because it has pretty much everything. I'll watch it now. I know 4 people who have played Ethelba on Broadway, and the music supervisor for Wicked's movies is a friend. Oh, nice. Man, there's a gold mine in the Oz books. I made magnets today. Excellent. Excellent. All right, let's get back to work, Cricket. Get back merrily all the way, bro. So we're gonna fix more of the UI stuff. It's kind of gotten out of control. Update interactables, bro. Update interactables, bro. Let's do it, bro. Merrily all the way. Update interactable, updating interactables, opening, clear, project position. That's where we draw. Update interactables is a cabinet. Update interactables array. Where are you coming from? Where are you coming from, brah? Let's go, brah. Let's go. Get objects at. Okay. Okay, bro. So this can easily be in the UI stuff. Redstone, how are you doing, man? Shout out to Redstone. The next notch, Redstone, will sell car bricks for billions of dollars. He's gonna do great. God damn it. I am truly my own worst enemy. Barely all the way, bro. Good, bro. What's going on with interactables here right now? Update interactable menu. Good, bro. You're gonna do great. Thanks, Dad. Don't abandon your kids. I've abandoned my son. I've abandoned my boy. If you're not dead, don't ghost your kids. If you're divorced father, probably not a good idea for the children. Just a thought. I'm just gonna throw that out there for you guys. Gonna lurk. Gotta make dinner for these here youngins. All right, Todd. Have a good one. Put the magnets in my server if you're interested. I put the magnets on the lotion. Magnets in my server. Wait, you're talking about in car bricks. I thought you were talking about real life. I thought you were sitting there going like this. Like when you are creating an electromagnetic charge on something, and you're like rubbing it up against a magnet, and then you put it in water, like you do it with a paper clip, and then you put it in water. You ever done that? That makes way more sense now. I was like, oh, good for you. Good for you, Redstone. You made a magnet. Good job, buddy. Well, that's awesome, dude. It was always fun to put a magnet in sand and just kind of move it around, and then it would get all these little clumps of like little metallic pieces on it. It's not your fault. I'm an idiot. Same here. We're both idiots. Sweet magnets. Dude, that means you could make magnetic. Oh, dude. You solve the rail problem right there. There's the monorail. Can you make a magnetic monorail? Okay. You have a version of like Redstone in the game, right? Technically, yes. Yeah, you could make a magnetic yeah, you need curved rails. Please add skateboarding to car brakes. Need to be able to rail grind. Do some Tony Hawk stuff in the game. Took a chance, took a chance, took a chance, took a chance. Took a chance on me. That's how my daughter got a scar on her eye. She was dancing to ABBA. And she fell and hit herself on a coffee table. And then I put some butterfly bandages on it. And she took my wife took her to the ER. And the doctors complimented. They're like, "Who did one of the nurses do the bandaging on her?" And I was like, "No, my husband did." So I felt really good about that. They complimented it. And do you know what they did? They didn't give her stitches, and then they did a shittier job putting bandages on her, putting bandages back on it, and she ended up with a scar. And if they just left it alone, she probably wouldn't have had a scar. So, but I was too afraid to question it and fix it because I thought, these guys know what they're doing. But this is the same hospital that when my son was born, within an hour, they had accidentally taken off a chunk of his leg. They'd pinched it off with some clipper thing when they were doing something else. And then the nurse had the gall to tell us that it wasn't them. And it's like, I'm sorry, my son has been out of my wife's womb for an hour. Like, you... and he's been mostly in your guys' possession. We didn't do it. So now he has a scar on his leg for the rest of his life from that. Super cool. Anyways. I also just had like this weird philosophy about circumcision, and I'm like, well, he can make that choice when he's older. I'm pretty sure know what he would choose. But I was super paranoid because I had read that like sometimes they'll just do it because they just are so used to doing it. And so I was trying to make it very clear, like, you know, no snippy snip, please. Like, we're gonna leave it be. We're trying to. I don't like this. Okay, let's put it back and we're going to rethink what we're doing here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so these two elements here. I gotta go. Redstone, take care of yourself. You're doing amazing work. We gotta play it again together. That was a lot of fun. Keep busting ass, man. The Lord's work on this holiest of days, Tuesday. Oh, it's Wednesday. Wednesday. Indeed. Hey, how come nobody's done the Minecraft 3D? The fuck's wrong with you guys? Can somebody do that? Redstone, I take no offense at you not joining the Minecraft server. I mean, after all, you've literally named yourself after a component of Minecraft. So that you're not joining the server speaks volumes, I think. And I'm totally not taking it personally. Not taking it personally at all, Red. I don't personally take it any way. Nope. Yeah, I'm not letting it bother me at all. I'm not bothered by it at all. This really doesn't bother me at all. I'm not bothered by it. So we're fine. Dude, more and more, I am becoming convinced of something. But I won't speak its name on the stream. It has to do with coding. The one thing you don't want to have is an opinion on programming. So my wife was real eager to watch The Master, which is basically about Scientology. Doesn't really try to hide it. Battlefield Earth. We haven't watched that yet. He knows so much about Scientology. It's wild. One thing is they really know how to use the legal framework to push the line for what's morally right. Beyond what you would expect to be morally right, but legally possible. So we can talk about corporations and stuff and how bad they are and stuff, but some of the shit that Scientology does, holy fuck. Yeah, it's there's an acronym for if something is a cult. I'm trying to find the somebody's so charismatic leader, isolation, members are often isolated outside society to leading to a closed environment, manipulation. No, this is not it. Totalitarian. So see, Totalitarian ideology. Cults have a rigid ideology that dominates members' thoughts and actions. It has a really good acronym for it. BITE. Here it is, the BITE model. There's a little survey you can take to see if something you're involved with is a cult. Cult docs, yeah. But I think one of the key things, we watched the Heaven's Gate one on HBO. One of the key things, I think, one of the most important things the successful cults tend to do is technically isolate, but they do it through language. They'll take words that mean something to everyone, and we have a known meaning to it. But when a cult member says it to another one, or when they're communicating with each other, it has a completely different meaning than what most people would understand it to be. And so it isolates language so that literally communicating ideas is only through the lens of the way that the cult sees things. Oftentimes, too, they tend to regard a lot of the... now, this is funny because when you start to think about religion, there's a lot of tie-ins here, right? But a lot of them will regard the body of a human being as like a temporary vessel in some way. That's often the case in a lot of cults that I'm noticing that she talks about. Is there's usually a name for the body beyond just like your body. It's like a piece of Tupperware, like vessel. And you see this in church, in religion as well. I forget what they called it in Heaven's Gate. Vehicle. They called it a vehicle. So again, it's to separate. It's describing something, changing the meaning of the language to it's basically brainwashing at that point, because you're reprogramming someone's thoughts in a way. Containers, yeah. Vehicles and containers, yeah. This container, when I leave this vehicle, yeah. Yep. Jim Jones. Is Jim Jones is the he's the crazy eye guy with the televangelist? Oh, the Kool-Aid. Yeah. The Jonestown in Africa. Yeah. That was wild how many were dead. It was like in the 300s, right? Women and children. Yeah. They're filming their celebration and everything. Jesus. I don't think we're as free as we think we are. Because it's easy to point to somebody in a cult and say they're stupid. But there's a lot of smart people that are in cults, right? So, like, if you're capable of believing this thing that to everyone else is so obviously and patently wrong, then it's possible, as crazy as this sounds, that as a collective, we do this all the time. And we're doing it all the time with many things. You could look at money as a shared delusion, for instance. And that we have entire systems around it that, if you think about it, could meet some of the qualifications for cult-like behavior. It's interesting. I really like the Source family. They're more of a horny cult. I have to check that one out. And Holy Hell is a good one where people don't die, but it's still a wild story. I'll have to check that one out too. Dude, these are all great recommendations. I'm going to copy and paste everything that you've mentioned and send it to my wife. There's also a YouTuber there's a few YouTubers that have started cults recently. It's I type in my that's all I watch usually. There's a couple of documentaries from the 90s that I'm trying to track down from. And one of them is about a guy who started an internet live stream like way in the early days, before pretty much anybody even had internet. And it was like a 24-hour his life kind of thing. And I can't track it down, and I don't know what it's called. It's driving me nuts. Just got to keep a constant stream of media that reassures me that I'm not doing that bad. Fiera, saw you working today. I make it a point not to talk to people that are streaming when I'm about to stream that day. And I'm sorry, but I just don't like the idea that my talking to you could influence a raid, for instance. I don't like dropping in like, oh, I could sway this person or whatever. So I'll lurk people before I stream typically. We live in public. That sounds like it. There's I think that's the one that I always find that sounds like it, but it isn't. Let me see. Maybe. This might be it. There's a good documentary about the creation, the open sourcing of Netscape to Mozilla. That can't be it? No, okay. Yeah, that's the one that I always think is it, but it's not. How's your stuff coming along, Fiera? Fiera's got a lot of polish going into his game right now. It's looking really good. These are exports. So what we'll do is we'll make a function call. Oh, jeez. The 7-5 documented by crooked New York cops in the 1980s. Dude, man, can you imagine the shit that went down before they had body cams? Fuck, I mean, Rodney King. You wonder how many Rodney Kings there were before there was the recording of it. That caused an entire riot. But that shit happens all the time still. To people of all creed and color. And it's like Columbine. It was shocking and tragic and disturbing thing, and then it just slowly becomes normal. Thanks, we're gonna lose. Life of Crime was great too. It follows people over 20 years of their lives, starting in New York City through the 70s and 80s, and they're scumbags. It just follows them forever. Scumbags with good hearts. It's, what about cinema verite? Do you watch a lot of silent or documentaries without narration? Yeah. Remember one I saw was about China and these rice farmers and their daughter, and how she wanted to work in a factory instead of the fields, and then she'd blow all of her money, as little as it was compared to what we have. And it's so weird to see basically the same story that you would see, but with more wealth, and the same struggles that parents have with their kids and everything, but they're rice farmers in China. They don't want her to, like, it's so amazing to see the repetition of, you know, like they don't really want her to succeed as, like, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. Paris is Burning and Grey Gardens are two of my favorite. Interesting. I'm not a fan of like the main character documentaries like Super Size Me or Bowling for Columbine or anything where the documentarian becomes a central figure in the documentary. I think that's clearly, you know, that they're putting their thumb on the scale in a way that, even though they could with editing and stuff, it's really off-putting. And the Super Size Me one is especially interesting given what was revealed long after the documentary was over. American movie, yeah. God, dude, American movie is hard for me because I just wonder, is his name Mark? I forget, but I'm just constantly like, is that me? Is that me? Am I him? Not an alcoholic, so I guess I have that going for me. But beyond that, but man, being poor and seeing him and his struggles and everything, and like, it's so fucking. There's just so many things about it that are so reminiscent. His grandfather, in particular, reminds me so much of a good friend of mine and his grandpa. And not in a like negative way. Not, but it's just like circumstance in life. I feel like more and more, I feel like school and learning and I think that the word teacher is bad. I think guide should be more something. I feel like we're at a point now where we could easily connect people with other people who would be able to. I just feel like we're at a point where it's like, hey, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. And like getting that person connected to the right things to make that thing happen is not bad. And I feel like, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but so I just think about, I just had, you know, in my mom, she was very, oh, you're amazing. Look at how smart you are, blah, 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 but just zero, like, hey, let's get your grades steady. You know, you should do this after college. And it was literally somebody telling me that like you couldn't do any of the things that you really wanted to do because we didn't have the money, kind of thing. And it's like, okay, well, I guess I won't even try. And I feel like that's, you know, not good to tell somebody. But But I remember it. I remember I was talking to my mom one time, and she's like, "Well, you never really were interested in sports. You didn't want to do any of that stuff." Because she's talking about all my nephews and stuff are all sports, amazing this and amazing that. And I was like, "What are you talking about? I would have loved to do that stuff." But I mean, it was pretty obvious, like, we didn't have any of the money that we needed to be able to do it. And you, like, it was just an interesting perspective where in her mind, it was like, I didn't want to do those things. And for me, it was like, well, I didn't even bother asking because I knew the answer would be no. Because it was like very clear. So I would have loved to have done something like track. Yeah, school sports are astonishingly class driven too, to the point where it's like you literally, if you excel at it and you're poor, you will struggle to excel simply because you don't have the money you need to be able to get the gear and all the stuff that is required to make it happen. It's really interesting. I'm listening to my sister tell me about her son going through he's like really good in he's like going up the leagues in soccer. Just the expenses and cost everything. And you know, the amount of driving to different locations and just all of that stuff just to make it happen. Interesting. So now we have show interactable. So I've obfuscated this. Is this good? I don't know. Now we don't need this if statement though. I've separated the UI elements out, so that's probably a good thing, right? Okay, so show interactable is here, and then we have the right button faces and everything. So everything should be the same now, but the code has been moved about. All right, I got to spend some time on this race condition. Tapper, what's up? How's the game coming? Tell your mom I said hi. Almost have the playtest on Steam. Damn! I'm not jealous. I don't hate your guts. You cook some fire here, baking some goods, trying. I'm back, Mr. Cricket. Welcome back. I was commenting how your name, given that it's Redstone and inspired exactly from Minecraft, that your refusal to play Minecraft with us makes me feel very good and not hurt at all. Yeah, that's how I feel. So, you know, I'm not hurt. Not hurt one bit. Nope. Not hurt one bit. Not one bit. Not one bit. I'm not hurt. You can't hurt me. Can't hurt me anymore. You can't hurt me. Sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. Okay. What's with the there's like 2 Springsteen movies coming out? I think there's 3 Bruce Springsteen movies coming out. What the fuck is going on, guys? One's a biopic. Another one is Indian foreign exchange, or not foreign exchange, but you know, a guy second generation from another culture tries to bring it into his life and school, and then I feel like there's another one where it's like more fantastical than that. It's like a cartoon movie that's all about Springsteen. The fuck is going on? Can anyone explain to me what's going on there? Like, what is happening? The lighting looks amazing. You're amazing. Yeah, the time of day thing was like a day one. That was like a 5-minute deal now, because I know how to do the skyboxes and stuff now. So I'm like, oh, this part's easy. But what is going on with Springsteen, everybody? Explain it to me. Like I'm 5. Explain it. Springsteen. Son of a bitch. Oh, trying to change the world. How I would like to know. Yeah, sure, no problem. Environment, world environment. Okay, so the world environment can be in your scene tree or it can be on your camera. Okay, in my case, it's over here on my scene tree. And then over here on the world environment, we have sky. First, you need to set ambient light to sky, otherwise this box won't appear. I hate this mystery meat shit. I don't think it's a good way to learn. But anyway, so you got to set ambient light to sky. Okay? Then, in my case, I'm using procedural sky. Okay? And here, you just have your sky colors. Now, in our case, because the camera's pointing down at the ground, a lot of these don't really matter. So then... so you have these different colors here, and since your ambient light is going to be affected by the sky color, whatever you change this to here will affect the overall lighting of the place, right? So what I do is I then have an animation player that's called Sun. So if we go over to here, and we take a look at our character, yeah, we'll do this. And then we just go over to sunrise. We can animate the sunrise. So we just drag this along based off of a tween of whatever our time is. And it changes the position of the sun, basically, just some fixed values that are in the world environment. And including our sun rotation. So we have sunrise and sunset, basically. And we just tween between those values based on how much time is remaining in the day. What does the light why does the light look so bright? What makes it? I don't know. I can tell you that I just sampled real sunsets and stuff and used color temperatures and values that I saw in photography to determine the values that I would give it. So I don't know if that is a factor in what makes it seem real. That might be a part of it. Doddle, what's up, Cracker? How's it going, Honky? Hope you're doing all right. The ambient light stuff confuses me a lot. Thank you. Yeah, so ambient is just like, it's just there, you know, on top of whatever other light sources you have and whatever color those other light sources are. The other thing about the world environment and the sky as well is it is tied to the sun. So there is a way to set it up. I might need to get a new Mobo, guys. I just tapped the USB and USB, by the way, I'm sorry, but USB, especially on computers, Type-C for computing is nice. The standard 2.0 USB plug is shit. The 3.0, 2.0 plugging is fucking awful. It's awful. Sorry for going on a rant. I don't know when I cut out Tapper, so let me know if you missed out on anything that you feel like you wanted to know. Hopefully, didn't lose too much. But you said you sampled the colors from real world photos and then went into the ambient light settings of the world environment. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I was saying, I believe rotation here, this is all the sun. If you set your sun, if you set your directional light to not have any rotation and you use this to rotate it, then the sun, this data here will be reflected more accurately, if that makes sense. And I believe you can sample this information here to put like if you want to actually put in something like a Billboard 2D sprite to for some reason, like I did. Let me go over to another project here. I don't know if it's even available right now. From the sky ambient, exactly, but you can kind of fake it. Let me show you. Where is, let me find my little old man game. Gadoot. We're looking for the little old man. Here we go. Nice. So in this case, the sun, I'm cheating here a lot. I'll show you what's going on here when we run it. But the sun is literally just a sprite 3D that's billboarded, right? always facing us. And the moon is also a billboarded sprite. And essentially, I spring arm them so that they're shot out away from our position, but matching the rotation of that light element. Okay? Does that make sense? And then I also throw in a bunch of... I was experimenting with really cheap clouds, which I don't believe are going to show up. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Something's weird here with the tweening. Where's my clouds? Am I in the wrong scene? Let's see. We had clouds. We had everything here. Procedural sky. Skybox replace. Where'd our clouds go? Hang on a second. Did we... Let me see if there's stuff to pull. There's no repo here. This is old. There's it looks way cool if I can find it. Let me keep looking. Top secret. Little man. We'll download it. No, we're gonna find it real quick. Anything for my homies. Yeah, this is it. Why do I have like an old one? A little old man Maine. Is this from today? Yes. Okay, let's try this. That was nice. I know you guys probably suggested Lana raid me, and I want to say thank you for that. That was really nice of you guys. Okay, here we go. This is the one. Sorry, it's going to take the stream is going to get all messed up because of the import. I don't know why this affects OBS so much now. Not multi-threaded or something. And it's on the same thread. All right, let's try this again. Let's look at the scene, though. If we go to main. Okay, so here we go. So the sun is further out in the background now. Same idea, though. It is a sprite. In this case, we're using a mesh. I forget why I ended up doing it that way. There was a reason. Oh, that's right. I'm attaching a spotlight to it. But anyways, let me show you what it looks like in runtime. Cricket could really use a hat. You know what? Your mom could use something. So this is here's the sun. So these clouds are really just these are just what do you call them? Watch as the sun goes behind the clouds. Watch this effect. This is all for free. So It gets masked by this. See how you can see the circle? And then watch it come back out through the cloud. Look at that. That's so cheap to do this with a skybox. And these clouds are just billboarded. But the sun goes behind them. And because of the they're not procedural, no, they're just we're just moving billboards slowly across the sky. So this runs like you could run this on a real low end machine and it's pretty convincing. It sort of falls apart because I haven't done any work to it, but like the sun and everything coming up, and the way it bleeds through the clouds in particular, and the diffusion goes away as it's behind the cloud and you see the outline of the sun and everything like that. That's all just like because of the way that the alpha transparencies and all that stuff work. Anyways, that was an experiment. We were working on a game, and that was when my mom was in the hospital. Second time before the last. Yeah, so this is the same thing though. We basically have so the way we're doing it in the in this little old band demo thing that I was going to do. Yeah, it's cheap though. It's cheap. So we just have a bunch of clouds textures. They're just these little textures here. You can see them here. Actually quite large in size. They could be scaled down. You can scale these down pretty good and it wouldn't really read any different. And then the sun itself is also a texture that we are spring arming from the sun. The sun is at 0, 0. And the sun, air quotes, is a directional 3D light. Okay? And we're spring arming from the rotation the mesh for the sun. The nice thing about this approach too is you could change the color of everything as the sunset happens. So the light itself, the color of the light of the sun would change too. And then we have the same thing for a moon, which is over here. So if I had waited, the moon would come out. The sun will have would go down and the moon would come up. Because long ago, somebody left with the cup. But he's going the, we're going the distance with this. And this is the gradient. So I did this a little bit differently. That's right. So I have these gradients here. We can adjust these gradients. We tween the values of these gradients and apply that to the world environment skybox stuff. So as we tween time, this is the gradient for the top and the bottom. So we can get our sunrise and our sunset and the night sky and the color of the sun in the day and the horizon color and the main part of the sky color here. That's all coming from these gradients here that we just tween and apply to the world environment procedural sky values here. And then you can just mess with this gradient and change it, and you can do it in real time and see what it does. So that looked like a pinball. Don't you dare. Greg, I was thinking about it. This is great. Yeah. And this is pretty cheap. The expensive part comes with shadows. And if you get really crazy with it, so there's this, and then there's what I did in for the skybox in, because I actually have a sunrise and a sunset and everything in Tubin. And this one's a little different because I used shaders for this, for part of it. The clouds are shaders, so the clouds are dynamic in this, but there's no. You could theoretically do a weather system with the shaders that I've got for this. Let me see if I can break this down for you. So this one's a little harder to see. Everything is still pretty choppy right now. I can't click on anything just yet. Dude, Godot, when you first open these big projects, there is something wrong with Godot where it's like, I don't know. Okay, so this is different. So here we have this skybox is different. The clouds here are a shader. And let's see, let's go over here. So in this case, we're using a shader material. And these parameters here allow us to change a lot of the same things, but through a shader. So the stars themselves come from a texture. There's a couple of textures used to create the cloud sort of behavior that you're seeing here. And this actually, performance-wise, I think is cheaper than using the procedural skybox. But you're asking yourself to do a lot more work in terms of tweaking the parameters, and the stars look jank, frankly. But we also have a moon, but it's not textured. This is someone else's shader that I appropriated. But time of day, I believe there's this time of day. Am I wrong? I can't remember. Is it just the sun? Did I just move the sun? I think I just need to move the sun. Let me see. Yeah, so if we move the sun up, so here we just move the sun around, and the shader for the skybox does everything else for us. There's the moon. And so as the sun rotates around, which is just again, the sun is just a directional light 3D. And so that moves up, and then if you could look up in the game, which you can't. It's funny, this game's got this beautiful thing going on that you can't see. But for this, I could do the same thing. I could put a spring arm on it and put a texture on the sun to give it a little bit more of that bloom effect, especially when it goes behind. But the skybox, see, this is different because the sun. This is a little weird because of how the shader works. So I don't think you could put the sun in a texture behind this stuff, but I maybe you could. But yeah, so this is to change the time of day with this one. You just change the rotation of the sun. Well, there's Flower, I think, is like one to go back to. Flower's one that same guys that made Journey, right? Where you control the wind and you move petals around and stuff. A modern day Flower could look amazing. The Journey fuckers. Dude, just their sand shader is pretty incredible. Their sand shader and then the water shader for Sea of Thieves is astonishing. The Sea of Thieves water is just sickening how good it is. But yeah, so same thing with this. So if you move the sun, this is kind of the same thing, but I'm tweening the sun and this is different because in this one I'm tweening the sun and then I'm also tweening the world. These values here are based off of this gradient. Anyways, so there's like a lot. I've experimented. It's weird. I didn't realize I'd experimented so many different ways with Skybox stuff. Yeah, I need to sync both of them, so I tween it myself, and then you just have it on a loop, depending on the kind of game you're making. But yeah, I guess I've made what is that 3 or 4 different types of skyboxes so far. We got the clouds. We have the more robust one from Tubin, which is like barely noticeable. One more. This one. Multiple suns and moons like a different planet. Our game is already tanking on macOS. Are you familiar with debugging performance stuff in Godot? How is it having performance problems already? If you wouldn't mind, you could send me the project. I could take a peek at it off stream and just see what I see. And like give some suggestions. I'm not claiming to be some sort of expert or whatever. Dude, you know what? Metal renderer isn't great. Is that you have to use Metal on macOS? Can you do you can switch it over to Vulkan. You can force it to Vulkan. Have you tried that? Try going over to your rendering device here, and then move it over to Vulkan and see what that does. But Metal has been around for longer, so you'll get better backwards compatibility that way. But again, so devices that support, there's this weird thing about things that start to support Vulkan, where they do Vulkan better than they do, say, other, like OpenGL and stuff like that. And so you might need to be able to allow the user to choose which one to use. Or you have an executable that starts up really quickly and just does a test. And it's like, I'm getting better performance with this one, so I'm going to pick this one by default. And then I'm going to launch the actual executable. Something along those lines. You get to a certain Nathir. Nathir's like me when I'm in someone's chat. Definitely not. Shit, is it so bad on Mac it's easier just to have it run in a web browser? Because you could I don't want to say it. There's a trick that I learned with Godot. Latest OpenGL specification. We have 40 FPS. On what hardware? Well, like, just out of curiosity, I'm gonna get back to my game. Just out of curiosity, when you're running, and you look at your VRAM. So if you go to your debugger and you go to video RAM and you just, oops, I gotta run the game. So right here, like, what are you seeing in here? $70. Mine's really high right now. 70 is pretty high. But again, I mean, it just depends. Is it integrated graphics on the Mac that you're looking at? Is it like a laptop or like an Air? I'll try to go Vulkan. Yeah, ActiveX is going to replace Java any day now. Problem is I can't get any debugging info on Metal. It says 0% on everything. Basically, it's broken. Interesting. You should get pretty much the same results if you can test it on Vulkan. What does I mean, what are you seeing up at the top for usage? Like, what's I don't want to get too in the weeds with you. I have found though. Well, we'll have to. So here's one trick. I'll show you another thing you might not know about. You can take any texture in Godot that you have that your asset's using. So for instance, I can take this one here. It's 1024 by 1024, right? I can take it and I can say, you know what? I want it to be 512. So you go to the texture, you find it here, you say size limit is 512, and you re-import it, and just like magic, the texture now is 512 by 512. And so if you happen to have really large textures, either you weren't thinking about it or whatever, this is like a really quick way to change that and make it smaller and see if that affects performance almost immediately. So that's kind of a freebie. And then you can do a lot of weird stuff here with the compression. And I believe that there's different reasons why you would want to do some of these with the mode here. So depending on the elements that you're using the texture for, and then you could of course not generate mipmaps. If you know something about the texture and how it's being used, you can disable the mipmap generation. Yeah. So you can kind of, but just remember, I'll need you all and your potatoes and toasters or whatever you're streaming Twitch on to see if my Unreal Engine game even runs at all. We're all here for everybody. We're here to support everybody. We can do it. We got you back, Greg. I wonder what the cost of Apple licensing DirectX. Licensing it? Have you tried, can you force it to OpenGL with, no, you're stuck with, Vulkan or Metal. Hmm. 60 FPS with Vulkan. There you go. No problem. Turn off VSync and see what the cap is. See what you get unthrottled. We VSync. I know, but it's not having VSync when you're doing when you're. But yeah, just to see like where you're at capped. And that's good because M is on Mac, right? So that's good for M's performance. But I will say with a big asterisk that your mileage may vary, and I think that really ultimately the best way to do it in Godot is to build a tiny executable that then informs the primary one. Hey, I did a quick test. It looks like these drivers are best. So use these ones for the best performance on this machine. Because some machines will do better like Metal or Vulkan, or some will do better. Their GPUs are better for OpenGL versus Vulkan. Like in my case, OpenGL all the way with my machine. Anytime I'm doing anything with Vulkan, the performance is shit. DirectX is owned by Microsoft. It's on the platform with most game studios. That's why gaming isn't big on Mac. Are a lot of people doing DirectX on PC anymore, though? I feel like it's... I guess I'm thinking AAA. 40 FPS was horrible to develop in. Glad I could help, Tapper. I am useful. I'm a useful engine. Toot toot. He's a useful engine. Cricket's a useful engine. Does anyone else get creeped out by the like messaging in Thomas the Train, the early stuff? It feels like very it just makes me think of Pink Floyd's The Wall. DirectX dominates. DirectX dominates the competition. Our biggest texture is the Discord logo on the title screen. Yeah, shrink that shit down if you can, if you need to. That's another thing that Godot really suffers from, is not doing SVG rasterization on the fly. That you have to pre-bake that shit is so stupid. So stupid, so stupid. It's so funny because it's there. It's there. It just must not be runtime, ready. The problem with mediocrity. Well, you could do it at runtime, couldn't you? Because you can import at runtime, right? So you could theoretically build the texture size that you need. Dude, that's the other thing for me, Tapper. The other thing that's really revolutionized what I'm not revolutionized, but I feel like it's like I've reached this other level. Tapper, check this out. Because I feel like you would appreciate this. I think so, you'd be somebody to appreciate this. Do you utilize import at all to any degree? Let me show you what I mean. So, like, okay, so I'm using a bunch of assets from, let me clear this out. So we have a bunch of meshes here. Okay, So you'll see here that we have all these materials here, right? Normally these wouldn't exist. So what I do is, because I'm using a bunch of assets that I got from someone else for a beat map, exported from Fmod. Okay, cool. So what I do is, let me just go, let me do an example. So we have this alarm clock here, right? Okay. So let me show you what I'm doing. So I do this, materials, extract and overwrite, extract format. You could do binary, but I believe it doesn't really matter, because ultimately when you do an export, it becomes a binary. I believe Godot does that for you. Anytime you have a TRES, eventually when you make it into an export, it becomes a binary. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident from everything that I've read that's what happens. But anyways, you can extract the format of the material here, and then the path. And so I do this with everything, because otherwise what ends up happening is they'll oftentimes not be pointing to the same material. And so you explode your video RAM, because every time you have a mesh that needs that material, it's local to itself. So if you do this, then anything in the case of like using assets from somebody else, they generally have the same names, and so they all point to the same thing here. And so now suddenly they're only pointing to that one material instead of each to their own. Took a while for us to find a decent workflow for it. Yeah. So there's that. And then the other thing that I'm doing a lot of now is, you don't see it here, but I did do it in, let me go over to my other game. I'm used it even more now in the other game, but I'm going to be using it a lot here too, probably. And that is, so if we go over to the Ink Jam, let me show you this. So you can basically assign, however, I went into the materials tab on the advanced import settings and point to it manually. Yeah, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It's just that happens magically. Once you set it up, it's just set. And anytime that thing changes on the outside, you get it for free. So, okay, so if I go over to my, we got all these different things here. So we have like, let me go to something interesting. So we have like platform 1.1, okay? So anything that's a one size platform, like these little lean ones here, if I go over to the import tab, let me show you what's going on here. So the root type, I can assign a root type here, right? So now when I drag this thing into a scene anywhere, to any scene, it gets this root type automatically, okay? And you can also do this for the root name. So the name that it gets in the scene tree, this is what this is right here. And then also the same thing for the root script. So if you want to override the default script that it would get, do you use Mixamo animations? We haven't found a good one for, I do not. I do not. And then the other thing that I do is, yeah, just import scripts. I'm starting to use them a lot more now. But this is really powerful. Root type for Blender assets and stuff, to be able to say, yeah, I've got a script I already wrote for this thing. And instead of having to create another scene and then put this into the scene and then assign the script onto that scene, and then anytime you want to do any significant, yeah, so basically this means that it just automatically is this. So then if I take this thing and I put it on a scene here, and then I go and look at it, and it is this. You see? So it's just automatic. And the other wild thing you can do with this, with the import scripts, is you can change the entire hierarchy of what it instantiates as. So if I look at this inherited, this is not what you would normally see from like a Blender import, right? Because on my import script, I am adding Path 3D, all of this stuff. I'm changing where the mesh is. I'm creating this as an animatable body because I'm moving it in 3D space. It needs to be an animatable body so that you don't fall off of it while it moves. You move with it. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Let me get my big ass head out of the way. So yeah, so path 3D, path follow, this is all done through the import script. It's all created there. And so then, and because of the design of the thing, and so I end up using inheritance a lot with this, which I wouldn't normally do. But like for a platform, there's all this stuff that you get from it, right? So when you drag a platform on the scene here, like now that I have all the script stuff set up the way that I want it, and obviously there's billions of ways of doing this, but I'm starting to like this a lot. I can change the speed of it here, and then all I have to do is right click here, editable children, and I can create movement by choosing the path 3D here and creating the curve for the movement that I want to make. And it'll just, because of my code, it'll just follow that movement automatically. But anyways, so it's super cool. And I'm sure there's like the workflows and other engines and stuff. Some of this stuff might not even be like, this is the kind of thing that I think is cool only because of the engine you're using and the problems that you have with it. You're a workflowaholic too. Yeah. Dude, it's all about pipelines. Because ultimately, you just want to be able to make something good. And it's like, I want to spend my time putting the stuff on the screen and moving it around and making it do things. And not having to get it all ready to do that all the time. So if I have to do a little bit of work up front, and as I learn this, it seems like I'm doing even more. But over time, it's like, yeah, I can snap this shit out fast now. So, but like, yeah, so for, you know, for these different scenes here, this is the one where I have all the platforms moving, and you can see the outlines. You see this here. This is a, if I click on this guy here, this path 3D, this is the curve here. And if I really wanted to, I could do something wild. Like I could make this, you know, because it's a curve, I can add an additional point to it. And then I can do this, and I can then bend it, you know, like Beckham. So I can take it and I can go like this. And now if I go to the game here, if I run the game and we go up to the, if I go to, what is it, 3? Now, oh, that's harder to notice because of the, I think I can change the curve in real time. Over here, we'll make it do something like go like this way. There it goes. So now it does this like wild, you know, movement thing. And because I have it all set up this way, anytime I just drag that element, anything that it's considered a platform from the import that I set in the here, you know, where I say root type platform path follow. So the path follow platforms all have this built in. I didn't finish the game for the jam. I'm probably gonna make something out of it that's just the like climbing thing, because I feel like it's got a real vibe to it. But anyways, so yeah, this one, and this doesn't line up anymore because I changed the tween on it. So if I restart this one and I come back to it, it should meet the bottom at the same point every time, I believe. Looks like it. Anyways, so I'm a fan of that stuff now. I like it. And I don't know why I prefer it that way, but I do prefer to be able to just drag elements into the scene and just know that there's like, because I put it in here, just behavior is there. It's like really nice. Instead of, again, like the old way, it would have been, I'm going to create a new inherited scene and I'm going to add the stuff that I need into that. And then if something changes about it, like that's the dungeon crawler stuff that I did a while back. That's how I was doing it. It was a fucking, just a piss poor workflow. Anyways. But I think a lot of it's dictated by the the game you're making. Okay, I think I might have found the food that's getting me food poisoning. And it took 5 ever. I actually used to have an intelligent camera where if my mouse was over here, my camera would move down away from it. And if there was like movement down where this, if it was here, then it would move it over to the other side and so on. I should get that going again. That was always wild. I'd move my mouse right here, and then the camera would just go to the other side. Will it increase or decrease? I don't know. I unfortunately have the ability when I do get sick from food poisoning that I can somehow not throw it up, which is actually probably way worse for your body because it doesn't leave your system. And I just end up feeling like shit. But I cannot. I have thrown up so much now from the kids and everything. That I just don't want to convulse anymore. The lurching throw up thing. And that seems to be like the go-to throw up that we get now with the kids, whatever they bring home. And unfortunately, we're in an area where, well, I won't blame the area because it was the same in California, actually. But there's like a growing component of people on either side of the aisle politically that are continuing to increase in their anti sort of vaccine stance. And so I feel like the kids are extra petri dishes now. Like we took my son to get his vaccines the other day, and we were told it was going to be 2, and so we told him 2, and we kept repeating it's going to be 2, it's going to be 2 shots, and then we get there and they're like, oh, you know, do you want to give him this flu shot? And we said no. We didn't explain why, but the reason why was because we kept saying it was 2, and they kind of changed it on us. And the lady was like, well, you know, everyone, you know, makes their own choices and everything. You know, 3 shots hurts just as many as 2. But, you know, we respect everyone's thing. And it's like, no, first of all, that's not why. But also, you're fucking pediatrician. This is pediatrics. So you should be shaming people. I'm sorry, but we're past feeling like we don't want to upset somebody. I should be careful. I should be careful. Anyways, I feel like doctors need to be like, yo, you're fat. You know, like you're overweight and here's exactly what's going to happen to you unless you start losing weight. But I feel like for whatever reason, we're not like healthcare right now is not about prevention. And it's about giving you medicine when the thing happens. It pisses me off. But anyways, I don't know why I went over to that. Why did I start talking about shots with my kid? What happened? Oh, the puke. The puke. Anyways, back to work. Cricket's ranting. Why is my active viewer count? Why can't I grow as a streamer? What's the problem? I don't understand. I'm silly joke about puking and started talking about vaccines. You dug your own grave, you dumbass. I didn't do it. You did. All right, we're just gonna rip all this stuff out and pull it over into the UI stuff. All this will come out and we'll throw it in UI. So now suddenly our game code is only 210 lines. What? Vaccine talks. Let's go. Burn all cops. Fiera, I was asking you. I was just asking you how the progress is coming along. I hope it's going good. I was saying that I was watching you earlier, but I lurk whenever I know I'm about to stream. I lurk on people, and I don't comment in their chat because I don't want to like. I don't know why, but I don't want to be like, oh, I'm dropping in here to say hi, and oh, I just happen to be streaming after that, you know? Like, I don't like that. Probably lurking. Oh, no problem, no problem. Second, do you mean man sick or real sick? I am so sick. I'm sick so rarely, but when I do, I'm 100%. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm a little bitch when I'm sick. Like the flu every once in a while, sinus infection, bladder infection, that was the worst, stuff like that, yeah. Just a bit more of the SFX, nice. Improve loading screens, very nice, very nice. Speaking of loading screens, after I get this refactor done, guys, that's what we need to work on is we have some sort of race war happening on our load screen. Sorry, race condition. But there is some sort of raised condition. My friend will probably come over tomorrow with more music and sound effects. Nice. God damn it, you guys, making games fast. Shit. You have to stop. No. I refuse. I keep making that joke. I do need to be careful about that. I should probably stop making that joke. No. Why should I change? Why shouldn't I keep it? Why shouldn't I keep the joke? That has the potential of being really misinterpreted. I would say my own thing. Oh, because of yours. Oh, jeez. Ships passing in the wind. I'm getting better. I'm happy. Happy. I had an idea for a game that was based off of the description of government that's in from the Look at the Violence Inherent in the System guy. Let me see if I can find the quotes. So, the name of the game would be Anarcho Syndicate Commune, which takes turns, which acts as a sort of executive officer. We take turns acting as an executive officer for a week. Decisions that have to be ratified, that an officer have to ratify by a special bi-weekly meeting by a simple majority in the case of purely internal affairs, or by 2/3 majority in the case of more major affairs. But I thought it would be funny to make that as the name of the game, is that like description of the ridiculously bureaucratic commune. It's like pure representative democracy, but a commune. It's just like so ridiculous. Tapper's is sensitive about that. He's German. Lol. Joking. Pierre's the same. It's time pressure, dudes. I need to get something out. I don't want another corporate job. I feel you, dude. I just chose to be poor. I'm like, you know what? I hate this so much. I think I'll just be poor. I think we'll just go that route. But now that I have kids, it's like, I guess I should just give up my dreams and make sure my kids have a good life. Because that's how I'm feeling right now. It's my own incompetencies. My wife and I think, both suffer from this weird problem where if we're getting paid by someone else to do something, we bust ass. But if it's for ourselves, it's really hard to stay focused and keep it going. But bills do need to be paid, yeah. Yeah. So just a bit poor. Super broke would be optimal. But I set core state. This is in start game. Start game is definitely not resume. Begin baking. So this is more like, so what's broken here? Begin baking. These are all UI connections. So these all go in UI now. On ready. I grind so much harder on stuff I want to do for myself. Yeah. No, I think so too as far as like my personal motivation, I think it's there. I think I really do lack focus. I think my biggest problem is that I have a voice inside my head. Don't waste your time on me. But I have a voice inside my head that's just like constantly like I'm going, and then it's like Saruman, and it's just like fucking telling me like you're this isn't good enough, this isn't gonna work, you'll never be able to do this, like, but it's not quite like that, but it's definitely not helpful, this voice. Schizophrenia. It's not that kind of voice. I sell my soul to the man and spend most of my days pretending to work. Dude, for me it was just upper management. If I found management that I liked, I would be set. But it was always like my boss is I always got along with my boss's boss like fucking perfect, like copacetic. He's usually like C-suite people. I'd be like, oh yeah, dude, we're on the same page with a lot of stuff. But it was generally like my guy that was my boss. I just like, it was really frustrating. And I didn't help. I worked at a bank with I had a boss and a boss for RIT. So we had this already ridiculous hierarchy that didn't need to be there. And then I had the admin. So it was my boss. The admin is where I would go to, and then he'd go to my boss, and then him, blah blah. So there's three links in this chain when there really probably only should have been one, maybe. But I think the hierarchy should have been more flat, single manager, if any, and then you flatten it out, and you get rid of this admin because there's one admin. So fucking stupid. Anyways, that was a long time ago. I just can't stand like the politics of like corporate environments as well. Like it's always like about playing politics, and I don't do that, and so I suffer for it. And then the other thing too is because it was a bank, I was getting to a point where like I was not going to be able to get any higher because I didn't have a college diploma, and so it was like, well, we can't promote you because whenever we put somebody at this level or higher, we have to do a press release. And so our stock wouldn't, like, that's not going to help our stock to have a guy who's just, you know, all he did was high school and a little bit of college and then just stopped. So it was very clear that actually I was like, even though they're like, you're capable of it, it was like literally I just didn't have the piece of paper to make it so I could go on. So, but anyways, that's... Department isn't in charge of anything that's important. We just exist as a small cog. Been poor most of my life and only had this job for a little over a year. Nice. So I can cog for a little while longer. Yeah. Nope, I'm a software admin. I do workflow automation for the marketing department of a very large company. Getting some food. All right, Fiora. And we continue the refactor. So if we have these set menu states, is that it? Look at that. That's it. So UI set menu state. But yeah, working for a bank during the '08 stuff was wild. Like knowing way before other people, in a sense, knowing way before it was hitting like the American population, like what was about to happen. And it was also really frustrating to watch a lot of the regulations that came in that effectively were all for show. It was a wild time. Yeah, well, the other thing about a bank is you're constantly either acquiring or being acquired. You're at two states. You're either acquiring or being acquired. There's no in between. And so my experience, well, loans are more secure than in 2008 right now. Yeah, except that they packaged a lot of them. The stuff that the Obama administration sort of put together creates another sort of ticking time bomb with certain types of loans. So, but yeah, the whole repackaging of debt and you know, all that stuff. But that's not that's the higher up banks. We were a mid, would be considered a mid-sized bank. like plus $1 million thing. But companies in finance, but we do 401ks and other investing. Tech section of the market part and know nothing about it. Yeah. Yeah. No, the regs that we saw, the regs that I'm talking about in particular. Felt my foot touch the cable. I got it. I caught it this time, guys. One of my old bosses worked for a bank, caught the CEO's son stealing. Dude, yeah, at my bank, the HR department was responsible for a charity account, and he took all the money out and went to Vegas to gamble it to try to like double it and then just put it back in, and he lost it all. That was the wildest thing to find out about, and they kept it quiet. And so he was responsible for this like charity baseball thing, and he took all the money, went to Vegas, and just lost it. You know what it reminds me of is the beginning of Empire Records. I wonder if there'll be consequences for these actions. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where he goes and he gambles the record store's money away. And he's like, I wonder if there'll be consequences for these actions. What am I crackling right now? Let me see. Ball sack. Hey, Jacob. Ball sack. We seem to be okay right now. We're okay right now, seems like. Ball sack. Things seems okay. Set core state. Bucking. Set core state to bucking. Set core state to bucking. Oh, I see. Set core state to bucking. I will show you how to buck. Very good. Very good bucking. Can we static these guys a lot? I think we can static like pretty much everything here, right? No, negative Ghost Rider, we cannot. That's be bucking. About bucking. Set the core state bucking. I like to be able to buck. Bucking. I get audio cracks in my game and I can't figure it out. Yeah. I'm not familiar with that issue too much, Fiera. It might also be that you're not ready, like, depending on how you're doing the audio stream and you're pulling it in, it might not be ready yet. I hate the web. Munglo, how's it going? Let me do a shout out to Munglo. Tapper, are you streaming any of your work on the game? Or is this more like a private offline thing? Oh, come on. I have a thing for Munglo. Oh, no, I don't. Munglo, I don't have a page or anything for you. Do I, Munglo? Shout out to Munglo. Munglo's doing amazing multiplayer game dev stuff. Yeah, Munglo, your game's looking so clean now, dude. Is that all you doing Blender? It might make sense to load the SFX globally and then pull from a pool if needed. Is what you're saying. If that's what's going on, that might be it. If you're constantly changing the audio stream source, then that could possibly be contributing to the crackling effect. Don't quote me on that, though. It might depend on file type and a bunch of other things. Never mind. I think I might be it's whenever I switch music are at the start of music. Yeah. So music you might there's probably, when you're doing an audio sample replace, there's probably a signal that you can get from it and just wait for that signal and then tell it to play. So if it is that, let me see really quick. Audio stream, parameter list changed. Let's go up. Resource changed. So this might be it. If you wait for a signal of changed, this might be what you want to wait for. So you would say to change it, you'd say what? Whatever the parameter is, right? Audio stream. Well, I guess you just load it. I guess it depends on the stream. Yeah, it would depend on the stream. Anyways, you would do whatever you do, like with MP3 or whatever. And then you would say, the variable name dot changed, like await variable name dot changed. If it doesn't work, though, if that's not what it is, you're going to get a soft lock or a hard lock. It'll just, well, the music may soft lock because it'll just like be waiting for something that's not going to happen. So that'll be your way of knowing that it's not that, or that you can't know that it's changed. If that makes any sense. But again, I don't know, because like, for instance, you might want to do like a playlist, right? So an audio stream playlist might solve your problems too for music. Because then you can just put it all in there and then say which one you want to play. And so this may be the solution to your problem right there. For music, at least. You know what we need to do for all of us Godot dudes? We need to have like a Godot. You know what? Maybe on Fridays I'll try to start getting like a Godot get together, and we just talk shop really like for like an hour, and just share things that we've learned or workflows, and actually show the project and be like, here's what I'm doing here. I don't know that I would call it best practices so much as like, if you're talking to me right now about what I'm saying, Taper, but more of like just tricks of the trade, and like just sharing, because everyone kind of has their own philosophy for game dev and everything like that. So best practices, some of it might be considered that. Share the workarounds, exactly. I'll bring chips and jips, says Johnson. Yeah, that'd be kind of a fun thing to do, I feel like, because I think there's a lot to there's a lot of experience that everyone gains from the games that they're making, the particular game that you're making, the jams that you've done or whatever, and you've learned certain things, and it's like Jotson's got a really cool workflow for the way that the Blender workflow that Jotson uses is really nice. So there's stuff like that. I'll bring fruit. We should be healthy. Well, so long as we have enough chips to offset the healthy part. Yeah. Yeah, like Sean, no. I depend on others to organize social events, but I'll go. Dude, for me, social events are like, oh God. Like, I'll say yes and I'll be all excited about it, and then the day of, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And then get in the car. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And then as soon as I get there, I'm like, this is great. I'm really glad I came. But the whole time before, I'm just like, oh God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Yeah. I haven't gotten a lot done today, though, guys. Today, I've been mostly just getting this refactor going. And now I want to talk to the game side from one part here. You know what I should do instead? Because I can trust this. Can I? I don't know. Can I? I guess if I'm doing these, so long as I'm not... Yeah, these all can go in the core game stuff. I'm going to move these up into here. And then we'll call this the UI states. Okay, I think this is fine. And then we'll move this here. And then we just need to change a few things on the game side. So registering the buttons on the game side, it's fine. A lot of these are setting states, so we don't even need... Like, we have all this start game, begin baking, all this stuff. We don't need that because we can just bind to the... Because we're doing, look, like set menu state, right? Except for this one. But we could do it on resume. But this start game, we actually need to do something a little bit more than just that. But for a lot of these, this would be enough. But like this is... So this is the one we need to... I've been staring at my editor. Does that count as anything? Got an idea of what I want to do. If that counts for something. Here, I just checked. They let the browser choose the sample rate. So if your assets are, for example, in 41.1 hertz, and Chrome wants them in 48, it resamples every single time, and that costs CPU. The crackle could be from that. And maybe it kind of hands the resampling to the browser, the DAC, but it happens somewhere. Yeah, and the other thing too, I remember when I did a game jam, it was for the I can actually check. For the tubing game, I had to create my own queuing thing because of the web, all the weirdness with web and web audio. I don't even remember. God, I wouldn't even know where to look. I don't remember. Oh, here it is, yeah. Yeah, I preloaded all the streams and I just had a dictionary lookup. And I think that solved a lot of my audio problems. Because I was always playing to the exact same audio stream for those samples. And they were always the same. Like, just out of point of fact of what Tapper's talking about, they would always be the same sample rate just as a result of the thing. It was music, it was a sound effect or whatever. So I didn't even run into that problem because I just didn't know that it was even a thing. And the way I structured everything, it just sort of happenstance that I didn't have that problem. But I did the audio stream. You may want to double check, Fiera. Some of the stuff is not available for web, or there's something weird about it with web. So double check the docs. So the playlist thing might have been it, and that's why I ended up creating my own solution for like a playlist like thing. Play next song. So this was my solution for creating the behavior of a playlist without using it. So I do think I actually ended up avoiding that. The web build will stop soon. Yeah. So yeah, this was like the simple. It's only like 10 lines of code to recreate a lot of the same behavior. This is like random song. And the other nice thing that I did with it, which I don't know that the stuff that Godot has is doing it, but I just made sure that whatever I picked wasn't the last one that played, which won't work for playlist size of 1. This would actually technically be an infinite loop if playlist size was 1. So I would probably need to add a check to that here. But in my case, it just wasn't an issue. So, anyways. When the Steam page is ready, I might stop uploading on itch. Yeah. I mean, I would dedicate my focus to Steam, frankly. I would say the better move is to get the game, work the game in Steam, get the following in Steam, get it going in Steam, and then make a pairing release on itch for people that don't want it on Steam. But yeah, focus on Steam. If you're trying to make money and build a community, then I think focusing on Steam is the best move. I think itch has a lot of issues, but that it's a bizarre. And frankly, I've seen so many people talk about problems getting paid from itch right now that I would hesitate to be successful on it for that reason. But yeah, as a playtesting platform, it's fine before you get the the Steam page going and everything. It works great. Okay, so almost everything's ready here except for begin baking. So we should probably make this to set core state is baking, start game, baking, begin baking. When does this happen? Baking button pressed. So that's a state. Pre-baking control. We're getting there. We're almost there. Everything's sort of getting scooted around. I don't know. Yeah. You can also create a playtest child app on Steam if you want. You can give out free keys for your playtesters. Yeah, the other thing that I've seen that I think is good advice is to get a demo out before you do a Next Fest. And just find any problems in the demo as soon as you can. And try to but I think for me, I'm going to try and use Steam as though it is a community platform and look at it as I'm trying to build a community for the game and like looking at it through that lens, but whatever Steam provides. And I feel like it's probably a bit like LinkedIn in its sort of, I don't use LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is janky as fuck and has all these weird, like, there's this weird, it's all really weird. And I feel like it's probably closer to an experience like that than like something like Facebook, like a Facebook group, which I'm not on Facebook either, but I know people who use the group stuff and manage that stuff. But I think that it's probably so janky and mystical that it's closer to something like LinkedIn than anything else, as far as like trying to build some sort of community with. But pre-baking control. Pre-baking. So why don't we just add a pre-baking? So this is more substate. This is really baking state. Or like baking action or something. And we have cookbook here. So I already had cookbook here for the menu. I might be able to just get rid of this and just do it all in here. See, these are just in the wrong spot. Begin selling. A lot of this stuff is going to change. Begin baking. This is a substate. This goes over, so this is UI state. Set menu state is probably a bad name for it now. I think separating them out is not a bad thing. Okay. This might break because we're pausing the tree. And I'm not sure, but now we got the refactor. The refactor is now complete. Demo will be full for New Year's, I plan. What kind of game? Headhunters are annoying as fuck. I deleted myself from there. It was getting annoying. It's creepy. It's creepy. So-and-so looked at your profile. Okay. It's like, all right. Link tutorial's broken at the moment. Or not broken, but the hint animations are missing. It's an action roguelike platformer. It's a flapformer. It's not a platformer. It's a flapformer. Flying is like a major component of the game. And I do a platformer. I think it might be a good idea, and I know this goes against the design of your game, but I think that a press to hold flap accessibility thing might be something you want to implement. Pog, export plus assert in ready. It's useful. That's thanks to Codex. Insertion, right? Is that the term? So that it's coming from, you're guaranteed that it comes from, and then that way, the other thing about that Tapper that's really nice is you're not referring to the scene tree structure at all. You're referring to a variable name that you know exists. You could do the same thing with $, whatever, you know. You could still set it up that way where you just have, and I am running into some issues with the way that exports are treated in Godot. Where when you're trying to do things statically and you need to reference exports, I end up creating a static reference to the export. So that's stupid, right? So you could kind of achieve this, but the thing is this gives you the benefit of now you can change the name of the thing here and not have to do anything to your code because it just is fixed because it's already set up in here. So now you can move it around and you can do whatever you want here, rename it, and it's all gonna work. Instead of having to, well, shout out to Codex. Let me do a shout out to Codex. Do I have I don't think he has a. So I'll do the traditional shout out, but that's all Codex. It's definitely so much cleaner way of doing it. As soon as he told me. It was like a watershed. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh my God. And I could see it. I was like, oh, you get all these benefits from it. The problem with it is, and what I would like to do is somehow program this in automatically. I wish there was a way, but I don't think I can. Is that I would like to be able to just get a list of my exports and do these assertions automatically. Like right now I'm not doing them here. But I am doing them here, right? So I'd like to somehow be able to just ask, but Justin was talking about this. There's no reflection in Godot. So I can't talk to my class and say, hey, what export variables do you have? And like, I just want to know because I want to iterate through them and do something. Don't worry about it. But you can't ask about, like, you've structured a class, you want to know something about it. You can't really do that. Because then you could have like a universal, just like, I just have this thing that I call, it's a function, it's static somewhere, and I just call it, and it does the assertion stuff for me based on the what I have as exports. Because then it would this would all be like a single function call, which would be dope. But because this can get a little bit out of hand, but you end up doing this anyways, and it's worse, I feel like, when you're talking to the scene tree directly, unless you compartmentalize a lot, right? But I hate doing that now. I hate I guess this game wants a controller. This one does. For what? Oh, the one that Fiera's making? Oh, it really does, man. Best on controller. It takes a lot of the skill ceiling, but that's fine for casual players. It'll make the game more accessible. That would be possible. Can you show me how? Where what in the docs? Tell me how you do it. Like, share the code, man. I'm gonna try to make it. All right. Let me know if you can get it, dude. Because that would be just a chef's kiss for the whole thing. At that point, it's like, yes, it doesn't get better than this. But I really am becoming opposed to. I'm ending up like with this core stuff here. I have scripts on the core stuff, depending, but then I find that I don't like with the scene stuff in Godot. I think there's a real danger in putting scripts on subnodes that are, so you have like a scene, and I prefer to have one script at the top. But there's this desire or this like instinct to modularize and like put another script on a node inside of that, and so on and so forth. And that's where you're putting a shotgun in your mouth, and you're at some point that trigger is going to get pulled. Like, I feel like that's like a really bad approach, or, you know, it's just like not, because it's like the worst kind of mystery meat, because not only the only, I mean, I guess you can kind of, if you have really good structure in your folders and everything, the Cobain School of Design, but it's it's like, because now you have to find the scene, and now you have to find the element in the scene, then you have to click on the script, you have to find where the script is. And it's just like, oh my God, this is so much. This is too much. Stateless objects with static functions. Yeah, dude, statics all the way. I mean, you get memory benefits if it's static. There's like a bunch of side, like, you know, you as much as you could in a scripting language, you're starting to get to more less fragmentation or whatever. Like, the engine knows more about what it's supposed to do with that variable. I'm just all in favor of that. You know, like strict typing as much as you can, statics whenever you can, like all of that stuff. How's it going, Sean? Let me do a shout out to Sean. I hope he's lowercase. I'm trying to do lowercase for everybody. Huh? I guess it's just a shout out now. Yeah, you don't have an itch page or anything right now, right, Sean? Sean's working on a how do I put it? Like an action adventure style game. Like a Link to the Past, but it's you're changing genres a bit, right? I think you made some shift. Am I having a stroke? What's the change? I forgot. I'm sorry. Main gameplay mechanic, I guess. You stay airborne and on stop at some point, pretty much. Yeah. Hold on, says Sean. Hold on to what? That's the one thing I don't like about the export thing is that it makes it more difficult to refer to these elements in static function calls. So Tapper, I think that's where you're going to find that you get a little pissed off about it. And you end up like shadowing the variable with like another one that's static and then I was in a chess game. I won. I'm making a backrooms maze. Okay. The action adventure is on the shelf. Gotcha. I have not tried this yet. Let's see. Assert all non-null object props, get property list, usage, name, get value. Oh, I see. So you would still need to send, like, you could do this with an array. P object. So you do self. Let's try it. You would just pass self on this. I'm going to throw it on game and make it static here. Just for now. And we'll go like this. Game. It's everything. What material? For each. So that's not a problem. These are locals. Name, material. Yeah, this is going to do everything beyond. So, is this recursive? No. Oh, look at this. It's grabbing so much, dude. The multiplayer, yeah, it's grabbing. My stuff's probably way over here, right? Yeah, it's way down here. um. Let me see about I mean, you could go through and tell it to skip. Like if it sees specific naming and stuff like that, you could create an ignore list. If prop has usage. No, it's still gonna... Like this one here, physics property, process physics property, it's gonna do it too. But let's try it. It's still hitting material. We're at 39. Yeah, dude, if you want to take a crack at it, material, canvas item material. So because it's a... yeah, because it's a control, it's part of canvas item. But usage is 6 here. If we should say, is it usage? Well, yeah, no, see, that has a value of... Anyways. I mean, what you could do is, you could just throw these in an array and then call that here, right? I wonder too, can you reflect on groups in Godot? Because I wonder if you could put it in an export group and then just get that export group. Because that would be handy. Because that would be, might be another way to do it. Anyways, back to work. Sorry for the cough, guys. I'm gonna go grab a drink really quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, let me know if you cracked the code, Tapper. I remember when I looked into it, it didn't seem possible. Be right back, guys. All right. Nice cold drink is surely going to help with my coughing, right, guys? That's how you fix it. Okay, so anyways, we have this refactor. Let's see if it works. This is a pretty significant one. Well, we're broken. Oh, no. Look at that. We should be able to do that. Let's investigate the This is my terminally ill friend, Cricket. I want Superman to take me to Disneyland. That's my one wish. He ain't been right since that spell of Helen Keller disease. Yup. Man. Worked for me. Property get usage. So this this syntax here, what's the 0 signify on get? Yeah, the problem is that it's getting control on top of everything else, not just my class, not just class name UI. It's getting all of control, right? So that was part of the problem. Let's see what we get. All right, Fiera, have a good one. Okay, we didn't get an error. Now let's try and break it. So we'll get rid of these guys for now, and then we're gonna break one of the scene elements. Have a good night, Fiera. Sleep good. All right, so we'll get rid of main menu. There we go. And it gives us the object right here. So the thing about this is it does make it a little hard to kind of figure it out, but you can see UI right here, so you know, oh, it's okay, it's UI. So it seems to work. You did it, dude. You're doing it, Peter. Holy shit, that makes my job so much easier now. Dude, look at that. Export crew, unite. Export crew, unite, dude. It's fucking dope. Look at that. So now single line assertion. Oh my God. That's ridiculous. And the other thing that you would want to do, I think, to make this perfect, Tapper, is asserts only fire. Asserts only fire on debug builds. Elon would fire us for writing less code. Oh, did I kick? I'm kicking it. I'm kicking the thing. Taper. I'm never gonna say it right. You guys give up on me, okay? Go on without me. I'm sure he's used to it. So, I spelled it the way he suggested it phonetically, but I'm going to change it to your suggestion. And I think that'll fix the problem. Boom. So now when I see his name, I see Greg's suggestion, and I think that'll help me. It's my favorite animal. It looks like something that the guy who did the designs, H.R. Geiger. It's like the closest thing to a real life H.R. Geiger animal design. Like God consulted him. He's like, hey, could we make something that looks a little phallic, but it's an animal? He's like, I got you covered. We got it. What if it had a big floppy thing for a nose? It's like, oh, yeah. A little weird little, like, curl up butt thing. And an elephant and a pig. You know, it looks like something. You guys remember the end of Sky Captain and World of Tomorrow when they showed the like miniature animals and stuff? It's very reminiscent of that. That was a whole vibe, that movie. That movie doesn't even have a cult following. Quite an interesting story of it being made too. Closest other animal is the horse. Oh, but what I was going to say though, Tapper, is because the assert only exists in debug, then you should probably, if we do an early return fail, or just an early return to check to see if we're debug or not. And then that way it doesn't run when we're on actual build. The rest of it, at least. Return of the tap. Return of the tap. Favorite. Favorite. I can do that. Would you just no op and release builds? I'm not sure what that means. But let's double check assert. Warning, for performance reasons, code in assert is only executed in debug builds or when running the project from the editor. So how do we check if we're I guess it would be editor, right? Is there like there's like an is editor. Something like that, right? Is it OS? Is it engine? Is editor hint. That's not enough for debugs, though. I mean, this would work. So not is editor. I use OS has feature debug and not. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that's more clear about what we're trying to accomplish. So if not has feature debug, then we return. And just to confirm it again, we're still good. Okay. Well, thank you for helping me keep that all clean, man. Yeah, I don't mess with the I haven't messed with like the git and set overrides too much. Or like the using like property list and going through that. Yeah. Well, it was a great execution too. We'll use that now. Again, though, in a static function, this is all, you can't use any of this. So just keep that in mind, that it sort of sucks for when you're trying to keep everything static. That you end up, at least what I do is I sort of mirror and then I have a set here where I do some sort of underscore and make the variable static, and so there is that. But there's probably a better way to do that I can't even think of. But anyways, we're trying to figure out right now. We're getting nothing when we're moving around variable rise for interactable elements. We need to figure out what the hell's going on here. See, we have countertop here, okay. And we have the book. Okay, so why are we not The other thing I'd like Godot to be able to do is conditional breakpoints. That would be great. You can kind of do it this way. Right? By just setting a hard break. But I'd prefer to do it in the debugger and not in my code. Action diagram is visible. Okay, so if that's working... Oh, here's our problem. The baking, this isn't... the whole thing goes away. Ah! There's our fix. We Tapper's got something to make the FPS better for you on Mac. There we go. All right, well that's fixed. Now we can actually get back to work again. So we have fully refactored our UI code, separated it out from the game code, and we can do a commit and feel good and sleep well tonight. And now we can start really diving in. I promise now, I thee wed. With this code, we are now going to attempt to actually get the thingy going. What is this? Oh, yeah, we're going to get rid of that. I thought Mud said he wanted to... Is that why everyone's here? Is that why I'm getting extra love? I'm just the table scraps from a no Mud... Is that what's going on? Hang on a second. Now I feel like I need a change of let me change the volume here. I'm gonna have us change the song a little bit. Just play the song. There we go. This fits my mood now. That's why I call him Tappy. Everyone's making fun of me how I pronounce it. I'm just gonna publicly shit on Mud. That's P in the corner. Yeah. REM's really good live. Boom, 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 boom. They ripped off the Electman theme. I think Crush with eyeliner, I think, is one of my favorites of theirs. I'll turn it down. We'll get back to the ridiculous techno music. All right. Oh, dude, I got so excited they had Beakman's World is on Tubi. I was like, oh, fucking Beakman's World, the whole thing. I got to rip this so it doesn't go away again, right? Because it was on some other streaming service for free for a while, and then it went away, and then it wasn't available anywhere. You can't buy it, you can't stream it, nothing. And then it came back, Beakman's World. And like, I was all excited, and I put it on, and it's all AI upscaled shit. It's like he moves, there's movement, and it's like he's moving before he gets there. Like it's warping his hand, and he looks like fucking wax, and everything is wrong. The rat doesn't look right, and it's all just, it's fucking ruined. I swear to God, is there an equivalent in media, like film or something, where we destroyed the film? Did we destroy black and white movies in order to colorize them, for instance? Isn't that something that the Turner guy was doing? And film purists were flipping out because he was destroying in the process, he was like ruining the negatives of the originals or something. It's like that. And they've done it, like YouTube did this a long time ago. They did upscaling for music videos a long time ago. And it just sort of happened in the old URLs. 15, 20-year-old music videos are all AI upscaled now with their OG links. And there's nothing you can do about it. Oh yeah, there's a female singer on Shiny Happy People, right? Yeah. The thing is like with REM, I just don't put it on. Like, I can appreciate the music, but it's a bit like what's the other band of that time? The one with the is he Irish? U2. I just can't. Like, I like REM more than I like U2, but I feel like I just can't. Bono, yeah, I can't with it. And really, what really just turned me off completely was that whole Apple album incident thing where he's from Athens. That album thing where I had to him holding his like shirtless son like this just stuck on my fucking phone, and I didn't ask for it. And Apple's like, "You're gonna want this," and it's like, no, I really don't. I didn't ask for this. I don't like the song. And that really just like, ugh. And you could get rid of it, yeah. And that was Apple subtly saying, hey, you don't really own anything on this. Like, we owned you. Somebody owed somebody else a favor, that's for sure, when that happened. Somebody knew where a body was hidden. In order for something like that to have happened. Does this band sound similar? Similar? Tragically Hip? Oh shit, this is gonna get me striked because this is not on see, it's upscaled. That's an upscaled video. Yeah, I can see it. But I can see it. The technophobes were right all along. It was such a weird album cover. That's the part that was like weird about it. It's like, okay, all right, you're going to put a song on my phone and the thing is if you didn't have any music on your phone, that was it. You're going to see that thing occasionally because of whatever. Favorite album cover? Oh, I don't know. I mean, Dark Side of the Moon is like perfect. I just talked about Pink Floyd earlier, though. I Wish You Were Here is good too. They have really good. They have some decent album covers. Upscale works well on 35 millimeter. You don't need to upscale 35 millimeter films. That's the last thing you need to do. That happened with I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy. They clearly upscaled the DVD masters for the Blu-ray, and I don't. Have you guys seen this? I think they finally fixed it. Let me see if I can find examples. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that shit. This is horrific. And this is happening on your 90s music videos right now on YouTube. Take any music video with a group of people and pause it and you will see this. I promise you. I was watching, I first noticed it with, and this is happening, James Cameron is doing this. True Lies. There's a really good video by Nerl that talks about this that I can share. But I was listening to Arrested Development and I was watching the music video because I'd never seen it. And like the crowds, like imagine being like, oh, I'm in this video, I'm in the crowd, and then you play the video and it's not even your face anymore. There's more though. It gets worse. There's like, look at it in motion. Look at this. Watch. Look at that. Hang on, I got to do the actual 1080p because YouTube lies to you. And their faces. Look at how her face went. Look at how waxy. It's really hard to tell because of the YouTube compression. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What the fuck? Look. Oh my god. This is a trap. We're ruining our, like, we will not have references to this shit because this is happening right now. We are mastering things in 4K and using this upscale bullshit. And our entire past is being like, it's being destroyed. All because of what, crisp. But and the thing that's heartbreaking about this, it looks like the fixed Jesus issue. Yeah, look at the background. Look at this. See the faces? Those are clearly It's a shallow depth of field. Those faces should not be in focus, but the AI is seeing faces and making them appear. So it's using an AI upscaler. What's heartbreaking about this is the Lucy show was shot on 35 millimeter. So they have incredibly high quality archival cells, like film cell, and if they just archive it right, which costs them money, so they're not going to do it right, then the best use of AI for film restoration that I've seen is when the negatives are lost and all that you have is prints, and they take multiple prints of a film and they scan it and they use AI to align it together and figure out, it gets rid of the scrapes, the hairs, it gets rid of the damage on it, and it restores it by using as much information as it can gather as possible from multiple sources and reconstructing it that way. And I'm sure you could do the same thing for VHS as well. If something was only the name for Cinephile is that oh, I didn't even know about that, Nathir. I'm sure something stupid like that is happening. But even her necklace, something is wrong with her necklace and their faces. See how it goes in and out from like waxy and then weirdly, it adds wrinkles to people that aren't there. It takes them away, and sometimes in the same shot. Look at the wrinkles in her eyes. She didn't have those wrinkles yet, not quite like that. But it's like putting features on people's faces that weren't there. Look at the eyes. There's something weird about the eyes too. Anyways, it's heartbreaking. It's bizarre. Look at that. All right. Same here. Every time I look in that mirror, I'm like, who did that? Who do I speak to? Yeah. Anyways. My shader. Do you have something you can share? Second, is it on Discord? Oh, here we go. Can I show this? Ooh. Whoa. So is that so you see through where the ball is? That's cool, dude. I like how you see the mesh. If there's multiple meshes, I like how it kind of... It's probably not intentional, like you're not ever going to see that. Yeah, and you could probably test the faces, right? Because you had it was showing up. So like right here, you could see what if the face is on the other side and not do it on that side. That's cool. Nice work, dude. I did it on purpose. It's really cool. But yeah, Beekman's World, I was so excited and then I was heartbroken. It's really weird. It's got weird motion smoothing. And it wasn't just upscaling. Yeah, they did motion smoothing. They did some sort of like it's just like they checked everything on the plugin that they used. And it's fucking awful. No sound. Hmm? Can you hear me? It's showing sound. You're redeemed. Oh shit. Let me do it again. Oh no. Sorry, it's because the thing keeps getting unplugged. $35 millimeters equivalent to 4K to 8K. Yeah, it's a huge fidelity. It's incredibly high fidelity. And so there's no excuse for what they did. They didn't need to upscale anything. Oh, you did? Oh shit, second. I didn't know that. Oh, 2 hours ago. Ah, oh, Christ. I'm sorry, second. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Me too. You guys. Spit on me daddy situation. I do have a sound effect I want to do that for. Let me get that going right now. Yeah, it's from that. Let me download it. All right, Taper, have a good night. Oh, the Minecraft sound is so good, but I can't play anymore tonight. I don't want to watch you play because I don't have the willpower. Understood. I need the like OG Minecraft music to play when the kid's talking though. So this is the sound I want to have play when there's bits. Okay. Okay, so then good resources deep in its crevices. I'll have to track it down. All right, let's look up cruise control really quick. I've lit all the signs. What's the lit song about waking up? And I'm splunking in this cave right now. Oh my god, there's a creeper. Kaboom! This creeper's blowing up all over my face, can't you see? Something, something, creeper. Kabloom! Alright. Is there a singular bit? Is there a name for the bits in on Twitch? Is it donation? Is it hype? What are we talking about? Cheer? Is it a cheer? It's a cheer. On cheer. Hey. It's going good. I got a lot done today.
Awesome.
How about you? How did it go with you?
Fine. I kept it a secret.
That's a good idea. It went well?
Yeah.
Miss Cricket's trying to get a hold of you.
Nice. Sweet.
Miss Cricket's trying to get a hold of you.
All right. Let me do a reset here. Number of bits. Message. So if there's a message, I'll probably have it and do something else. All right. Well, whenever I get another cheer, it should play that sound. Hopefully. This one. Okay. I looked up the origin of that. I was very surprised. I was like, oh, okay. It's boobs. The answer is boobs. Fresh bread. Oh. I'm going to make some fresh bread. My only Colin's like, what the fuck, man? It's my only French viewers out. It's like, screw that. French. 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 It's like it feels like a language that's like, you know, if you pick up your feet to walk. It's like a language that's like ice skating. It doesn't have to pick up its feet. So just sort of like, it feels like it's just like walking in mud, or like it's like it's like slushing together. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Rosh. Ash. 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 Bullion, thanks for the raid.
Cool? Yeah, cool. You think it's cool? It's cool.
Bullion. I was just doing my French accent. You missed it. Bullion. Bullion. Where's my chicken soup? Strom, how's it going? I hope all y'all doing good. That's trying to do a Cajun right there. It's not really working right now. Bullion. That's why we're here. I'm here for the first time. What are we working on? Dude, so what are you working on? How's it going? I haven't seen your stream in a while. I haven't seen anyone stream in a while, frankly. I haven't been able to watch much streaming. Bullion. Uh-huh. 5 hour.
What the dog doing?
A 5 hour stream. Oh yeah. Ah, yeah, a 5 hour. I don't know what I'm doing with my accent right now.
So
See, should I get a hat? People said I should wear a hat. I like my widow's peak, damn it. It makes me a man. I'm going to embrace it. I'll find the redeem works for others.
would it be RGBA 8?
Oh, what's the dog doing? Oh, he's hanging out.
Ooh,
He was a bad boy today.
makes sense that it would be 8.
He got out of he jumped out of the
Fourth.
he I was playing fetch with him and he's like, "You know what? I'm hot. I'm going to go take a dip in the creek, Papa." And he just hopped over the fence and went in the creek.
Player build.
Hell yeah. Widow's Peak for life.
Which tile?
I don't wear a hat because I'm a bald.
And then,
What are you trying to say?
so player
No,
location, which tile, which color?
I like this. This is
Then
clean.
The opposite to unhighlight that.
Are you
tile.
making a rogue-like game?
Highlight.
This is looking very rogue. What's going on here? Oh my god, you are a survival roguelike. How did I not put this together? I've been watching you.
It's a custom theme that kid had.
He's gone
That's
rogue.
Displaying little anymore.
I'm just going around, dude, just scrubbing.
1 second instead of yeah.
Dude, this is nice.
Or
And this is Fog
there
of War?
somebody that like kept it
I like it.
alive somehow.
Well, we were getting distracted. We just got it worked out. I have a Minecraft server if anyone's interested in joining. Head on over to the Discord. We just got it rolling. We're 5 strong right now. 6. Just had another one today. My wife will join soon. That'll make 7. All right. Let's get to work. Actually, I think I probably need to wrap it up. We're 17 strong right now. Let's find somebody else to invade. Got to put the kiddos down. It's 7:17. Ooh, is Grumble going? We'll keep this train going. Oh man. Hey, Grumble's going. We can raid Grumble. Maybe? That's videos. Who's live? Is Grumble going? No, Grumble's not. We could raid PK. PK, again, criminally underviewed. But Dobbs is going. I never get to wear Dobbs. Okay, if you guys don't know who Dobbs is working on a Paper Mario clone. And so we're going to raid Dobbs. Dobbs works. Dobbs is a chill dude. Dobbs, I think he still works in the industry. I believe. He what do you call it when you honeymoon? Something like that. But anyways, he's working on a Paper Mario clone. The dude cooks. All he does, you go to his stream and he's cooking. It just smells good. So anyways, much love to everybody out there. I will see you guys tomorrow. Now, speaking of cooking, I should be able to actually get going here. And hopefully I'm not nearly as distracted, but I do appreciate the distractions. I engage in it when I need it, and I really appreciated that today, guys. So thanks for hanging out and talking. And for my prolonged away session while I wrangled Calvin back, I debated with Mr. Pig. I brought Mr. Pig out. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.